And we're live. Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Sugar and Spice with your host, Mandy Ferri. And I saw it coming. Anyways, mic did fall. A little bit of a malfunction over here. Is it a little bit of a, you know what, we'll say it's a comfy setup. My table, my mic stand is on a pillow. I don't remember if in the first episode it was that. To be quite honest, can't recall, but I think this might be a temporary fix for now. I want to get like a cute little wooden table. I don't know, I have a vision. I'm gonna decorate her. It's gonna be like comfy, cozy vibe, but I knew this pillow wasn't gonna be very sturdy, so next few episodes hopefully we'll have a wooden table. But anyways, how's everyone doing? I'm so excited for this episode. I've just been like very thoughtful about it, not gonna lie. Like these past few weeks I recorded another episode and I was gonna release it instead of this episode, but I don't know, I feel like that episode was giving much later energy, so might have to edit out if I said welcome to the second episode or anything of the sorts, because it's not going to be the second episode, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Regardless, this episode, it touches on a lot of topics. I've been accumulating and waiting to just burst about it. So, of course, let's start with the song of, did I call it song of the week before? We're going to say the song of the day. My brother's currently listening to Spotify, but did I actually even write it down? Is the question, because I wrote a lot of stuff down, and weirdly enough, I don't think that was one of it. Oh my god, yes. Obviously, it's a little bit, I don't want to say basic, because basic isn't bad, but it's everywhere on TikTok. I am one of those chronically online people, and because it's everywhere on TikTok, it's now just everywhere in my life, and I can't stop listening to it. Gracie Abrams, I Love You, I'm Sorry, especially the version where it goes through the something, but she goes, me, and she really drags it out. For whatever reason, I can't remember how it goes right now, but if you get it, you get it. You've definitely heard it. If you're watching my podcast, your For You page is probably very likely similar to mine. You know that song. So freaking good. Gracie Abrams, not gonna lie, kind of slept on. I'll be honest, I thought she was a lot more popular than her status right now. I didn't realize that she wasn't very big. But to be fair, I thought the same about Sabrina Carpenter. Back in Girl Meets World, like I was jamming to her music. Sue Me, wow, I was busting that down in the shower, not gonna lie. So it's just kind of like amazing. We were like, oh my god, she's discovered. She's like technically a new artist and I don't know what not, and she's like known worldwide now. And I was like, you know what? I'm proud to say I was one of the beginner ones. I wasn't that deep into her, but I would purposely watch any movie she was in, because honestly I loved Girl Meets World. Too freaking good. Is it cringy to look at now? A little, but I think it's like funny. I think it's in a funny kind of way. I really hope whatever I'm looking at isn't a spider, but I'm also a little bit blind, but I'm pretty sure it's not because it's not moving. But regardless, anyways, let's move on to the first topic of the day, of the episode. I'm on Tinder, okay? And I'm on Hinge. I'm on both. At first, a little bit of backstory, just because. At first, I only really liked Hinge because I had Tinder first, and I quickly realized that the men on Tinder are a little bit scummy, respectfully. Like, and what I mean by scummy, let me clear up that definition right now. They're just there for hookups. Like, they don't care what it takes. They are gonna want to hook up. And I tried it before, kind of liked it, But then when I realized that, I was like, no, not my vibe, deleted it. Tried Bumble, so not my vibe, respectfully, as of right now and who I am. Not my personal vibe. But then I tried out Hinge, and honestly, Hinge and I have a very on and off relationship. Like, I'll delete it, download it again in a couple of months, then delete it again once I get like way too overstimulated. But this is not like to advertise, but it's been on my mind, and I think it's a really cool feature. They added this new update where if you have more than 8 people waiting for your message, or it's your turn to reply, you can't accept any more matches. And that's so smart, because honestly, I'm very guilty of doing that. Like, I'll consistently be talking to people, but then once I just get like bored of the conversation, it's just not that interesting. I'm like, let me go find a new person, and then I just like hop. That I might be exposing myself here, but like, respectfully, I'm a very combo kind of gal, and I want to be stimulated intellectually in it. And I'm not to say like, oh my god, like, I know how that comes off, but it's like, you'll have to give me something a little bit different than just, I think I spoke about this in the last episode. I don't remember. I might be mixing the first one and the one that I haven't released yet. Who knows? But I want someone who's interested in me, like, for real. At the end of the day, I feel like a lot of guys on Hinge, not a lot, okay, that's like not fair to say, but many I have interacted with are just, hey, hi, how are you? How are you? I mean, I'm good, how are you? I'm good too. And that's often where it goes to. And then maybe I'll throw in another question. I'm like, blah, blah, blah. What are you doing? Whatever. It'll go a little bit further, and then eventually we get stuck at a dead end. When I ask him a question, he answers it. Then what? I'm waiting for you to ask me a question. I'm not going to be the only one questioning you here. Like, this is not an interview whatsoever. No, thank you. Go find someone who is willing to interview, because that's not going to be me. I want someone who is as equally interested in me as I am in them. And I don't think that's crazy to say. But where was I going with this? Oh, right. Complete side tangent there. Regardless, I really like that feature. It's so good, because it really forces me to actually respond to people, and honestly for the better, because maybe I judged these people and their conversations too quickly, and will admit to that. We all have our faults, and we're all growing as people. And so I think on my Hinge profile, one of my prompts or facts about me, or no, it's like, what's your hot take on socks on or off? And honestly, I've always been an on kind of girl. Like, I've grown up with socks on. My mom's always been like, don't walk around the house or anywhere with socks off, you'll get sick type beat. So in my mind, the easiest thing is just always keep them on. And I'm not saying I don't give my dogs a breath, okay? I am saying I usually keep them on, and if they're not on, I'll probably wear like some indoor kind of shoes or whatnot. But I just find like socks comfy. My feet are usually cold, my hands are usually cold. I'm usually a cold person. And on top of that, my house is just cold. That's the environment my family loves to live in. It gets intense, let me tell you. Like, I'm walking around with blankets on top of me. And yet my brothers and my father will have the fan on. Insane, if you ask me. In the winter, my brothers open the windows. Wild. Don't get me started on that. So, with all those factors in mind, I keep my socks on. I would like to be warm and toasty when I'm in bed, and it's just such a nice feeling when it's cold outside and you're in bed. I also feel like I read somewhere that sleeping with socks on enhances your sleep, or helps you sleep better, something like that. And let me tell you, I met someone who was a former sock on hater, I told him to try it once in the winter, whatever. It was cold, it was chilly. And he was like, that's disgusting. Like, those, like, the feet get sweaty. I was like, if your feet get sweaty, that's a you thing. Don't be assuming everyone else's feet get sweaty. And that's a thing on Hinge I've noticed. Men have said it very often too, to be honest. But that man converted him. He was like, you know what? Actually, I do feel like I slept better. Was he maybe glazing just a little bit? Who knows? But I will choose to believe him because it's to my benefit. But anyways, yeah, so a lot of people on Hinge tend to reply, that's crazy. I think the only acceptable thing is in the winter, which valid, but some people are like completely against it 24/7. And I've even met people in person. I didn't even know this was a weird thing to like grade 11 when I was talking to some girl. I don't know how that came up, but she was like, you sleep with your socks on? And I was like, yeah, my feet get cold. She's like, even in the summer? And I was like, sometimes, like, if it's cold in my room or if it's not that hot in the area, I'll sleep with my socks on. It really depends on my environment, but I'm not opposed to it, and I usually do sleep with socks on rather than off. I'd say I sleep with them on maybe around like a 85 to 90% of the times when I'm going to sleep. Wait, water break. This is your reminder to hydrate yourself. I'm taking a food chemistry course at the moment, and I have this thing which I feel like is very normal, and obviously that's going to happen when you're learning something. You're going to apply it to your real life and you're going to think about it often. But I already mentioned it was a food chemistry course, but I just can't stop thinking about the chemistry of food. Like, I saw my brother grab some dough or some flour today, and I was like, there's some bound water up in there. I was thinking about me drinking water. It's free water. Like, I was just reviewing. Oh my god, like, I need to take a break from my studies. It's all the time in my head. Anyways, back to the story. These men were saying something along the lines of how it's weird. But oh no, yeah, that girl. That was the first time I found out that it was a strange thing. And talked to some other people about it, because all my friends sleep with socks on, and no one thought it was weird, so it was just like a convenient, thing. But yeah, so I put on my Hinge prompt, and some people think it's outlandish, some people think it's psychotic, and I think people use that term a little too loosely, but whatever. Those are their words, and I don't think it's that crazy. I needed to mention that because apparently it's a hot topic, but I don't think it should be that controversial. It is what it is. People are so stern about it. Maybe it's them flirting, you could say that, but I would not say that. I would say I've met people in real life who are very weirded out by it. So I just don't see the big deal in it. It's just to be cozier. Obviously, if I'm hot, I'm gonna take my socks off. I did that last night. But I've heard people say, ew, don't your feet get sweaty, blah, blah, blah. Like I said to that guy, if your feet are sweaty, that is the you thing. Maybe some people relate, which, yeah, very likely. A lot of people maybe get sweaty feet. But don't be assuming it's everybody. That's my message to the world. My next topic was... Oh, yes. I am so excited to introduce... I mentioned it in the first episode, but the whole sugar and spice part of the podcast, where some episodes I'm going to be talking about hot topics, and then others I'm going to be talking about more softer things. I'm not sure if that's going to fall into, growth episodes, advice, or whatnot, because am I qualified to give advice in certain aspects, in certain areas? 100%. But I'm also a girl who's also learning. So I'm like, I think this could be just an experience to share together. And if you want to learn a lesson from whatever I share, you can take it. but I don't know if I want it to directly be like because I'm seeing a lot of those often where people just kind of give a lot of random misinformation and like things and that are just their opinion, but they give it as if it's factual. And maybe that's just my free page on Instagram, but I think it's just intense. It's a sort of aspect of society that I really don't like. It's like, oh, people should be like this. Oh my god, level up. Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, 100%. I do encourage for people to better themselves and develop more emotional intelligence, knowledge, whatever, etc. But it's a lot of pressure, like let's ease it. It's so in your face. And some people, not me specifically, but sometimes, I'll be honest, sometimes I do feel that, but like that's once in a while. It's very, I don't know, I feel like it pushes that idea in society where it's like, get your life together. If you don't get your life together, like this, blah, blah, blah. But the reality is, no one knows what they're doing. And that's actually not really a topic that I had on my list, to be honest, but we're leading into that now. I just had a very weird eyebrow thing. I do apologize for the visual people because that I did not control. I don't know what happened there. Regardless, I just think it pushes a very intense role and pressure onto people. But at the end of the day, I don't like the idea of shaming and putting this pressure on people because we are just people existing, and I feel like that's the toxic side of the whole motivational thing. I truly honestly just love Hope Core, and I was on that last night, and let me tell you, it was great. I love Hope Core. I'm trying to get more of it on my feed, but I feel like the grind stuff sometimes ignores psychological aspects of life where you should want to slow down and like be in the present moment and exist and appreciate where you are right now in life, because you're in the middle of the journey to get to where you will be. Enjoy the ride. Take a breath, look around you, be grateful for who you have around you, be grateful for what's in front of you right now, because at the end of the day, you never know when whatever's in front of you won't be the same. I keep seeing these quotes on TikTok, or I did before, and this was like a year ago, and it was all about, oh, this is the last time like I'm gonna be living with my siblings in my life. And I was like, oh my god, that's so true. I didn't even think about it that way. And then since I saw those kind of videos, I really made more of an effort to be present when I'm with my siblings and when I'm with my family. Because at the end of the day, there is going to be a point where I am going to move out and live with my family or on my own for the rest of my life. And this I will never experience again, so might as well enjoy where I am, for even enjoying it for whatever faults I might think it has in the moment. Because regardless, I feel like you're gonna admire and kind of miss most of it. I live in a very healthy household. But you get in those family arguments sometimes. You're like, oh my god. But even those, I feel like, are healthy. And eventually I will end up missing. I'll end up missing my parents telling me to do whatever. Or to reminding my brothers to do this. So, getting a little cutesy and sentimental on the soft side here, but I don't know, I think I really just wanted to say that and spread that message. That's my other message of to the world today. Oh my god, yeah, and so that kind of does fall into what I wanted to talk about in this episode, because it just leads into the next subject, where it's about how I think everyone needs to have a creative outlet in life. What was I talking right before this? Wait. Oh, yeah. And so I think it's very important to just take a moment to be present. And that's why I feel like having a creative outlet is so, so important for everyone to have in their life, even if they feel like they're not creative. People have this misconception of creativity to be specifically good at painting or drawing or anything to do with your hands, but something to do with creativity could be absolutely anything you want it to be. It could be a form of dancing. It could be picking up an instrument you haven't before, but that has piqued your interest. If you can at least dedicate 15 minutes out of your day to do something that allows your creativity to flow free without judging yourself is so, 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 so important. You need to let that fear of perception go, and I feel like it overall just improves your mental well-being. I know that there was a moment in my life where I don't know why I felt the impulse to do this, but I don't know what I think. Honestly, I did it for as long as I can remember. I'm telling you, I would put music and dance in front of a mirror, whether it was not in front of a mirror. Usually I liked dancing in front of a mirror. Do I have background in dance? I did a couple years of ballet, and then I did figure skating, which you wouldn't normally encourage as dance, but we would dance on the ice in the figure skates during practice. And yeah, that's when I did cheerleading in high school, but I think that's pretty much it. Other than that, I just, Latin family dancing is just kind of like in my blood, low-key. But I just love, love, love dancing. And so, literally at least once a day, if you hear that, that's my dog. He's sleeping under my bed. Once a day, I would play a playlist, whatever song I was thinking about that day, but obviously like a nice jamming song. And just dance for at least like an hour. I swear, maybe not an hour. Maybe I'm over exaggerating, but I'm telling you, I wouldn't doubt it. I don't know. I never really kept track of time when I would do it. I had a lot of spare time on my hands. And so, yeah, I would just dance. And I actually feel like that did a lot for my self-esteem at the time. Like, I was so truly myself. I see videos and like whatever things about myself, and I was like so authentically myself and not afraid to be perceived in anything like at all in any way. And I honestly, after like, I would say during COVID, I probably maybe stopped doing that. I don't know why. I just didn't feel like doing it. I would probably be on FaceTime with my friends or like, with my family, whatever. I don't know, I just kind of stopped. And low-key, I would say I kind of became a little bit more aware with how people would perceive me in certain ways. Like, I wouldn't say like I would just say maybe I decided I want to blend in a little bit more. And that's valid. I'm not saying that's 100% bad. I was very interesting. I think it's also something to do with your prefrontal cortex slowly developing, becoming more mature, but I don't know, it's something very liberating just to do something and feel so like freely creative about it, no judgment, because when it's just you in your room with your mirror or without a mirror, moving, not thinking, creating your own choreography. I love creating my own choreography. My friends and literally actually growing up, I would do that with my cousins, my friends, but with my best friend Larissa, we literally do that. Still have some videos on my iPad, but it's the most fun, and I highly encourage it. I just feel like if you like dancing, even if you don't like dancing, I feel like it could encourage you to dance more and do better, and like, if you're a little bit insecure with the way you move on the club dance floor, there you go. Now you're getting some practice in. Regardless, I feel like it just takes away that judgment and that harsh pressure you put on yourself to do perfect in something. So that's my another recommendation for the week. I don't know if I already suggested one. I actually can't remember. I'm telling you right now, this is just completely like loose. This is like brain everything. I'm on a roll. I'm not really quite thinking. Water break. Also, I say have at least one creative outlet, but I really recommend if you can do multiple, you can switch it up. Maybe don't keep it a routine. I think I ended up switching in my life, like now that I think about it, dancing for drawing and painting. In COVID I picked up more DIY stuff, and I would make jewelry stands out of clay. I would paint, draw, take pictures, and I feel like I express my creativity in that way. So it was nice because I feel like it's a way of expressing and just putting on paper what you're thinking or just imagining. But I like now I think I'm gonna start encouraging the best of both worlds, to be honest. I miss that lifestyle, and it was so fun. Actually, I low-key still do it. Now I just like sing when I'm home alone. A little bit of a side embarrassing story. In first year university, I lived with these girls, and we weren't necessarily, I'm not gonna like say too much, but the house was very interesting. We weren't necessarily all besties, but we got along. It was very cordial, but it was very much, we're just living together. We're not very like friends. It's very minimal conversation, short, small talk. But I was very busy first year. I am a I don't know why that came, a bio-sci student. And first year was intense for me. The jump from high school to uni was insane. I was taking the max courses you could, and I was taking the most difficult courses you could do. During the same semester, people separated it, and I didn't know necessarily that was something you could do. Don't know why, don't ask me, but that's what ended up happening. So I was often, very, very often, if I wasn't partying, I was in the library, and I was like, or I was in my room like late night studying, falling asleep on the floor. It was insane. But that was our vibe. I didn't really have much time to connect with them. I think they connected a lot more than I did with them, but what are you gonna do? That our schedules never aligned, so I to be fair, I didn't put much of an effort, but they didn't either, so regardless, that's my word of the day. One day, because I'm the type of person, I've always been the type of person to sing and dance on my own time. If I'm in the shower, I'm 100% singing. Like, unless I know that someone's gonna hear me, for sure I'm singing. If I'm home alone, I'm singing. If I'm in the car, I'm singing. This is all alone, okay? And I know that no one can hear me because I don't have the voice of an angel, but I like to sing. Like, it's fun. Like, it's like, get into it, you know? But my family has heard me sing, and I've just come to accept, they know what I do karaoke at our family parties, because it's not the worst, but it's not the greatest. Regardless, I think my family is really the only people I let hear me sing, and my friend, because we like to do karaoke. But strangers never. Unless I'm in public doing karaoke. I'm completely contradicting myself, but I don't want my roommates to hear me singing karaoke. Did the basement girl probably hear me sing? Yeah. You can low-key hear a lot through those vents, and I often thought I was alone in the house, and no, I didn't realize that you could hear everything from the basement to my room and vice versa. maybe she heard me hissing a couple times, but whatever. That I didn't have to accept that. We didn't really talk. The girl in the basement, she was like completely isolated, but whatever. I'm in the kitchen one day. I'm pretty sure I'm home alone. I knew one person was completely gone for a while. I knew that the basement girl was gone because I saw her car leave. She wasn't there. And I assumed the other one was at work because she usually worked those days, those hours. I go in the kitchen. Oh my god, I'm blasting Shawn Mendes. Stitches comes on. I don't know what songs I was singing, but I was singing, I think, absolutely any throwback song you could think of. I was cooking for about an hour. Making eggs, making my avocado toast. I completely lied. Obviously, I wasn't cooking for an hour. Maybe, I don't know, however long it takes you to make. But I over-exaggerate sometimes. But whatever. As soon as I finish cooking, I sit down on the kitchen table. I'm eating. The layout of it was kitchen. I don't know how to show you this. It's a kitchen. Think of a big square. About a small rectangle of it was the kitchen part. The left would be a bigger corner square. That would be the dinner table, and then the rest of the space would be the area to either go to the front door, to the basement, or if you kept going down, that would be the living room. But it was all an open space, except there was a couple of pillars separating the dining room from the kitchen. From the living room. I sit down. I don't even see anyone on the couch. Obviously, I think I'm home alone. But there was a pillar covering one singular couch. Why would I think to look there? I'm home alone. Sit down at the dinner table, eat my thing, whatever, pack my stuff. I'm about to go back upstairs. As you leave the kitchen and you turn left to go near the front door and upstairs, you can completely see the entrance to the living room. I almost shit myself because I thought I had seen a ghost. There was my roommate sitting on that singular chair couch. I was shocked, baffled. Shorty did not say a peep, not a word. Jaw dropped. I jumped. I was like, oh, hi. She goes, hi. She was very friendly about it. It wasn't weird. But I wanted to absolutely die. Oh my goodness, I have never felt more embarrassment in my life. I'm telling you, there's a difference between singing and knowing your audience, as in you're in karaoke, presenting in front of someone, versus thinking you're completely home alone, dancing, belting. Do I look like someone who can completely belt right now, at this moment, in 2024? No, maybe I do. I don't know. But I can't. I actually cannot. I can only go so high. I have a very lower range singing voice. When I'm home alone, I like to go high. I like to see my potential. I like to warm her up. Shorty heard all of that. Oh my goodness. I love that she didn't make it awkward. Bless her soul. I actually liked that roommate. She was very nice. We just never really connected or talked. She was nice though. Thank the Lord she didn't make it awkward. I don't know if she recorded that. I don't know what she told her friends or whoever. At least she didn't make it awkward for me, because that would have actually been the cherry on top. I would have cried. Not actually. But I would have wanted to actually close myself in a shoebox for the rest of my life. Goodness gracious. Embarrassment is a social construct, and you can only really be embarrassed if you let yourself be embarrassed. That's my firm belief on it. But even though I say it's my firm belief on it, and I really do say that often, it is hard. It's hard to choose to not be embarrassed when there's people making it difficult too. But you know what? That actually does tie into confidence. If you're completely confident in whatever you do and whatever you say and in your character, you shouldn't feel embarrassed often. But I'm not confident in my singing, so that is a different story, to be honest. I'm gonna need another water break. This is longer than I thought it was gonna be. It's almost 3 in the morning. My last one that I recorded, I'm talking a lot about it. I'm like teasing her, but the last one I recorded, it was so delirious. That's the reason why I haven't posted it, because I think I started recording at the same time I started recording this one, but I was much more sleepier that one, and I don't know if I made much sense, so I'm gonna have to review that one a little bit more. But what a break. Low-key, I think we actually have been covering a lot and doing very, very well. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Okay, actually, wow. We're doing amazing. Anyways, if you're completely sure in who you are and what you're doing, you can... Okay, I'm not gonna turn off my TV. It's giving off good lighting, actually. You can choose to not be embarrassed. I'm bringing up another... Actually, no, it's the same friend that I mentioned before. But I just remember this significant moment when I was in high school, and I had this very dear friend to me at the moment, and they were asking me whether or not they should wear something for a presentation. I was like, why would that matter? What do you mean? Like, explain yourself. And it was just like, I guess it added to the character of who he was presenting. I don't remember what it was, but I think it might have been like a little bit of like a comedic type of thing. For like, I don't know, but I think I had to do something with comedy, that's why. And I was like, should I wear this? Like, I think, and I was like, do you think it would really add to the character? Do you think it would add to the show? Would it add to the vibe of it all? Could it enhance it? And he was like, yeah, like, I think it could really sell and like add this point and do this. And I was like, then do it. Like, what is holding you back there? And he was like, I don't know, like, looking him a little bit, is it embarrassing to wear this? I was like, do you think this is gonna matter in 5 years if you're embarrassed about that moment, or if someone makes you feel embarrassed about wearing that? Even though, why would you though? Think about it logically. You're wearing this for your speech. It's not like you're going to school and wearing this thing for the entire day. People get it, that it's for your presentation, you know, they're there to watch specifically your presentation. You make it the way you want to make it. So if you think it'll add more creativity and enhance it, add it in. If it's not going to matter in 5 years, why should it matter, and why should you think about it for more than 5 minutes? And he actually really appreciated that. And then I actually, low-key, that's like a core memory for me in high school. Because low-key, that changed my brain chemistry too. I was like, wait, I'm spitting bars right now. Who is she? And I think that's just like something we should all apply to our life, if I'm being honest, you know? But aside from that, like, little life tip, if you're completely confident in who you are and what you're doing, don't be embarrassed for it. Be confident in what you're doing. Be confident in who you are, because whatever you did, that's why I'm so heavy on. Obviously, your actions speak louder than your words, and your actions speak for who you are. If you say you're someone who's very giving, but you aren't giving, your actions very much speak for who you are. But I might have lost my train of thought. If you're completely confident in who you are, nothing should embarrass you. Actually, I'm not too sure if I'm gonna expose myself here, because this is crazy embarrassing. But I think it falls into the lesson. I have had Bro, no, I'm gonna have to check that out because it actually looks like a spider. No, it would be moving. Okay, no, it's not a spider. I honestly grew up in the 2018 era. I entered grade 9 in 2018. That should be known. Because I feel like that was a different moment. There was, the doggy filter, the flower crown vibe. It was just a different era than whatever the kids are doing now. And I am someone who, when I like someone, I have so much love to give. Honestly, I feel like I grew up with a lot of limerence, but whatever. I was like completely infatuated with whoever I liked. They could do no wrong in my eyes. I always gave them the benefit of the doubt. And that's just like, I guess, like my innocent way of viewing that kind of world. But in a way, I'm gonna expose myself here. There was a certain... I've always loved lip syncing. I've always had Musical.ly. I've always had TikTok. Lip syncing has been my thing since birth, basically. And I feel like the era was like posting yourself lip syncing, like, like you had the moment. It was the era, 2018, okay? I was complimented by my lip syncing videos and by my crush, by whoever I was talking to at the moment. And then I made it my dedication to send them a lip syncing video every single night for the entirety rest of us talking. Because it was a situationship, of course. What the fuck was that? Oh my god, are you kidding me? Who the fuck does that? But I was very innocent, okay? I don't know. I look back at my high school self, and I used to think I was very, okay, no, grade 9 to 10, I was very immature, I'll be honest. And then I matured a lot after, but I used to think I was, even then, I thought I was mature. But I see how my brothers are in high school now, and they're so much more mature than I was. I was just very unaware about the world, not gonna lie. Like, bro, there was a moment where I was talking to this guy, and I don't know, I would just send snaps of whatever. So mid skincare face routine, I'm lotioning up my face. It's winter, my face is getting dry. Dot here, dot here, dot here, dot here, dot here. Send a quick snap, like, whatever. Tongue out, but not in a weird way. That came out wrong, but like a little like, more like, like peace sign, rock on type of vibe. Send him a picture. He goes, that looks crazy. What? What do you mean? I go, huh? W-Y... No, what do? W-D-Y-M. Because whatever. I was like, no, I don't know. What are you talking about? Explain. And then he explained, and I was like, oh. That took a weird turn. And I didn't realize how these men were always thinking about something different. I had such a much more innocent view of that world. Like, I was like, oh my god, like, he's snapping me. Like, it would be just such a cute little innocent moment. I don't know, world, man, my world has been tainted, and let this be a message to all of y'all. Men, boys, whatever, men will always be thinking with an ulterior motive. Especially high school ones. High school and above. Always an ulterior motive. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so I would send this guy lip syncing videos every night, and I sometimes do cringe to it to this day. And I know for a fact that he's told people about it. So I was like, okay. But I am not ashamed. I'm in a way proud because although it was a little bit strange, I'm a little bit of a different person. So, I like to give a lot, whatever would make my crush happy, not in a weird way, but in a cute, innocent way. And I was 14, 15, like BFFR. But I just feel like that just kind of goes to show how dedicated I am into a situationship too. Not even a boyfriend. Are you crazy? I've learned my worth now, but damn, girl, don't be exposing yourself like that. But it's just like, I just really liked him that I was like, you know what, whatever. He thinks it looks cute. You're gonna, whatever, not now. You're gonna think I'm cute every single night. Yes. Give me them compliments. I am a compliment hoe. I enjoy receiving compliments. I don't think that's crazy. Especially if you think it looks cute. You think, maybe, whatever. I did what I had to do. You would do it too for a check, to be honest. And that was before the frontal lobe was even like an inkling of developed. But yeah, so you know what? Although it is a little bit of a weird thing, I will own up to that. There was very innocent and pure intentions with it, so I'm not ashamed of it. I don't regret it. Crazy thing is, his ex-girlfriend at the time when we were talking hated my guts because I was talking to him, I think, like 2 months after they broke up. I'm telling you high school drama just because honestly it's kind of interesting to this day. And it was just a wild time. Like, he told her that we were talking, and I was like, are you insane? She is going to hate me. And he was like, no, you're crazy. What happened? She literally hated me. He was like, no, she was so happy that it was you. She says, you're a really nice person, whatever. Then literally the next couple of months, all I hear is from everyone, this girl, we're gonna call her Rosie, that's not her real name, but Rosie said this and this about you, Rosie said this and this about me, and it was a whole drama, bro. It was a whole headache and a half. Goodness, it was the worst, most annoying drama I had ever been involved with, and I honestly didn't get into drama often. Like, I'm not that type of person. I like to stay out of that. I don't like to surround myself around people who cause drama. And so I was like, goodness gracious, we need to finish this up. To be honest, I might have been adding fuel to the fire at the time, but I had never been in drama like this before, so I was like, you know what, I need to defend myself out here, whatever. Yeah, so you know what, I'll be honest right here, I'll say it right here, right now. I'm a very much forgive but don't forget person, because your character proves who you've been and who you've been building up. Unless you show growth, of course, but again, that's part of your character, who you show up as. So I will never forget that. Just so you know. Even if we're besties or like close friends one day, because that was crazy, that whole era. Anyways, yeah, so she hated my guts, whatever. Then eventually the guy dropped me. I was so, like, honestly shocked by it. But then I wasn't really, like, if you really think of the facts, I was the type of person who gave them million benefits of the doubt. Like, I was like, no, like, making excuses for them, whatever. He ends up with me, whatever, we go on along, grade 12, they get back together, and they've been together ever since. And honestly, good for them. I feel so proud for them because it's a very cute love story. And I actually can't speak on their character, so I can't say, but I haven't spoken to them ever since in a long ass time. But they're cute together, I can't lie. You know what, go with them. They're gonna have, like, an amazing life. Like, they're a very solid couple. But it was just interesting. Such an interesting moment. But I'll be honest. We moved on through high school, whatever. the beef was squashed. We were just kind of cordial. I think she wanted to be friends. I low-key wanted to be friends too, but it was one of those things where it's like, oh my god, let's like hang out one day. We totally should. And like no one says anything. So we were cordial, whatever. Kind of just was whatever to me. We didn't care, obviously, by grade 12. It was like, that's grade 9 beef. Who honestly cares? We were very nice, spoke. But I will say I will never forget when someone tries to claim that I want to be them. Because if anything, goodness, like if you know me, you would know I would just never copy anyone like that. Like she was out here saying I was trying to be her. I was like, girl, who? Trying to be who? Who are you? Oh my god, it was the most craziest moment. Because again, I had never really been involved. Actually, I'll be honest, I was involved in a lot of drama in elementary school, but not that kind of drama. Not like guy beef like that. That was insane. Never have I ever experienced that before. Like, I really was mainly around girls. Like, that was crazy. Being mad at me for that reason was insane. But in hindsight, she was obviously still in love with him and whatever. So I get it. I hope they have beautiful children, actually, because I'm telling you, their love story is very, very cute. Is that weird to say? I don't think it's weird to say. And I'll be honest, I'm a lover of love. I love when I see happy couples. I'm the type of person that maybe people think this is weird too, but if I see a cute couple on my Instagram feed or like stories, I'ma like that if it's a girl. Always if it's a girl. I just like click a heart because I'm like, oh my god, that's so cute. I love y'all together. Like, I love seeing love, honestly. I had another story about like not being embarrassed, but I feel like that's a story for another time because Loki, that's like more of a hot topic kind of topic. It gets into some juicy details. It is still about high school, but I think it's very relevant now because I'm gonna be, you know what? Some stuff I don't think I'll be able to spill because it's literally allegedly illegal, and some stuff are not my story to tell, allegedly, but some stuff are my story to tell, and it is my story to tell on the character of people. So a little bit of exposing there. That's more of a spicy episode. And yeah, the rest of the topics I wanted were more spicy stuff. Task for the week, maybe I say month, try to find ways to be in the present, whether it's journaling, meditating, and meditating can look in like different ways, like just listening outside and being outside or sitting and listening to your body while you're drawing, painting, but just have a moment of thoughtful presentness. That's my task. And if you're someone who feels like your days are going by very fast, or maybe you're recognizing now you haven't been appreciating the little moments for what they are, this is just something I highly recommend to anyone to incorporate into their day. But especially those, because there was a moment in my life where I did feel like that, where like my days were blending in. I was like, you know what, I'm actually not appreciating life for what it is. And I think the ultimate guide to happiness. Right, so my video cut out and we're gonna have to end it soon, folks, but just to finish off on that thought, I think the ultimate guide to happiness is within the lack of comparison. If you continuously compare your life to others, what was I talking about before? I don't know. I actually don't know where my train of thought was going there, but I know I wanted to say the thing about comparison, and if you continuously compare yourself to what others have obviously, and to what you potentially could or could not have, it's going to take away from your happiness. So I think it's super important to live in the present, be grateful for what you have, because undoubtedly I feel like we all have a lot more that we should be grateful for, that we take advantage of. Something as simple as being to wake up again and getting to breathe fresh air and getting to sleep in your own bed, or getting to sleep with your siblings and to have siblings. There's just a lot more we could be grateful for and to live in the present moment for, because again, nothing in life is permanent. And even though that sounds scary and kind of ominous, I think it's something that should be celebrated, because we get to experience what it's like to have something we hadn't had before and to grieve it, as weird as that sounds. And I could get more into that, because that's actually a really interesting topic about the Buddhists and what they believe. But I think I want to do a little bit more research about that to give you guys some completely accurate information and to know a little bit more about what I'm going to talk about. So it's also getting super late. I am going to end it off here, folks. If you want to keep up with my life and whatever I'm doing, my Instagram is Mandy Loves Mangoes. Let me check that, if that is accurate and doesn't have any dots or periods of any sort. Yeah, just Mandy Loves Mangoes, MandyLovesMangos on Instagram. And my TikTok is Mango Mandy, I believe, mango.mandy. And then the spam account is 2 Y's at the end. Thank you for listening to Sugar and Spice. I love you all so much. Spread love, spread positivity, and put out good energy. Bye.